Hello, viewers. Welcome to Football Discussion Daily. I'm your host, CGO. Please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our social media platform, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and other platform. Today, I'll be looking at uh, games that will be played for March the 8th. March the 8th, that is going to be a second round of games for Group A and Group B. That's what it will be. And this game will be played on Thursday, June 18, 2026. And the fixture we'll be having will be Czechia, that is Czech Republic, playing against South Africa. That is a Group A game that will be played at Atalanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. That game will start by 12 noon Eastern time. And then the second game for March the 8th going to be a Group B clash between Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. That game will be played at the Los Angeles Stadium in Inglewood, California. The time for the game is 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then the third game is going to be one of the co-host nation, Canada. They'll be slugging it out with the team from the Middle East, Qatar, in a Group B clash. The game will be played at the BC Place in Vancouver, in British Columbia. That time for the game is 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then the last game for March the 8th is going to be against one of the co-hosts, Mexico. They will be slugging it out with South Korea in a Group A clash at the Guadalajara Stadium in Guadalajara, Mexico. The kickoff time is 9 p.m. Eastern time. So those are the four fixtures that will be played for March the 8th at the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now we'll be looking at each game one after the other. But the first game Czechia has played was against South Korea, and they lost that game. South Africa also lost their own game too to Mexico. So Czechia lost to South Korea 2-1, even though they defeated them. South Africa lost 2-0 against Mexico. They even got two red cards in that game, which means that two of those players will be missing in this game. Czechia and South Africa have only met once, and that was uh, December 13 of 1997. They played in the group stage of the FIFA Confederation Cup in Saudi Arabia, and the game ended in a 2-2 draw. So they've only met once, and it ended in a draw. This time around, it's really going to be an interesting game because both sides would like to bounce back, having lost their first game in this competition. The second loss for any of these teams means they most likely heading back home. Both sides would like to make sure they fight out, to at least try to make sure they're able to get victory in this game. South Africa will be missing two of their players who were red carded in the game against Mexico. So they'll be missing the guy called Zwane. Zwane will be out of this game because of the red card he got in the game against Mexico. And then Sitole will also be missing in this game. These are very important players in the South African team, especially Sitole. He's one of the core defensive midfielder in the South African team. So he will be out of the game, which I'm sure the South Africans will really miss his presence. But players to watch out for in this fixture on the side of the Czech team, Patrick Schick, who plays for Bayern Leverkusen, he will be leading the line for the Czech Republic team. And then we'll have a player like Souček playing in the midfield, trying to control the tempo of things. Kofa, who also plays like a a wing back. Is one of the players that will be very instrumental for Chikia in this encounter. Then we also have a player called Zeleny, who is also a very good player. He plays also as a wing back, but operating from the left side of the field. So these are players that the Czech team will be banking on to really make a huge difference for them in this team. On the side of the South Africans, they'll be banking on Foster. Foster Widow plays for Burnley in England, and then they'll also be banking on Mokoena, especially to play the defensive midfield role. He's a very good player, one exceptional player you have in the South African team. And we must not forget about their goalkeeper, Rowan Williams. Very, very fantastic goalkeeper. So these are the players they'll be looking for to help them at least get a positive result. The Czech team most likely use a tactical formation of a 3-4-2-1, and then for South Africa, most likely they are going to play 4-2-3-1 tactical formation. I don't expect them to play a low block in this game like we saw them do against Mexico, because we saw what the Mexicans did to them. The Mexicans did a lot of high press on them, and the first goal resulted from the high press. A mistake was done, and then the Mexicans were able to take the lead. So this time around, I'm expecting the South Africans come out and play, and then try as much as possible to be creative, especially if they want to win this game. It's important they do everything possible, get a victory in this game. If not, it will be time for them to go back home. It's going to be a very tight game. Any of the teams, any of these two sides can come out victorious in this encounter. So we'll look forward to see what happens between South Africa and the Czech Republic. So the next game we'll be looking at is Canada playing against Qatar. Canada, they are one of the co-host nations, and I think they've only had one encounter against Qatar, and that was in a friendly match that was played on September 23rd, 2022 in Vienna, Austria. Canada came out victorious in that game. They won 2-0. Goals from Larina and also Jonathan David. They were the ones who scored for them. And these two guys will most likely play for Canada as they encounter the Qatari side in this particular encounter. I feel the Qataris, they need to improve on their defensive structure to make sure that the Canadians don't have too much space to penetrate, because if the Canadians have that space, maybe it might punish them for that. So I believe Canada will come out to play a high press kind of game. And one thing I suspect is Qatar might still want to play low block against the Canadians. But the point is, how long can that tactical approach, how long can it really keep them? How long can it really help them to get a positive result? So I think Canada has an upper hand here, because when you look at how they are going to press in this game and playing at home in front of their fans, I think that will give them some kind of cutting edge. So I don't know the magic Julian Lopetegui will perform in this encounter to ensure that the Qataris at least come out with something positive in this fixture. So we wait to see what happens. I believe Jesse March would instruct his players to play with high intensity, to be very physical, to press very high in order to force um, the Qataris in making mistakes. So that's what I foresee will happen in this game. I feel Canada has an edge in this encounter, but in football, anything is possible. We saw what Qatar did against Switzerland. So it's up to the Canadians if they have the chance and they're able to convert it. Then it means they will stand a good chance of winning this game. So it's up to them to take their chance. Whoever takes his chance in this game that will end up winning the match. So that's what I feel will happen in this encounter. And now I would like to talk about the game between Switzerland and Bosnia Herzegovina. The game will be played uh, in Los Angeles, and both sides, I think they've met once, and the only one time they met was an international friendly game in March 29, 2016. The Bosnia and Herzegovina won the game against Switzerland. They won 2-0. Goals were from Miralem Patnik and Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko will be playing this game. So I think he will be there to motivate the players to see how they can get victory against Switzerland. One thing is that Switzerland has upper hand when it comes to uh, play. They have an upper hand because of when you look at the quality of players they have more established players than the Bosnia team. But my biggest concern is if the Murat Yakin's men will be able to take advantage of the opportunities that will come their way. We saw how they had lots of chances against Qatar, but they didn't take advantage of that opportunity. I'm hoping that their strikers, the likes of Ruben Vargas, will be able to be clinical enough. A player like Mbelo, I'm hoping that he will be very clinical enough. If they can be very clinical, because in times of possession, they will have the possession of the ball. Because what I foresee is that um, Bosnia Herzegovina are most likely going to play low block in this game because I don't see them coming out to play with great fluidity. I don't see them coming out to play possessive football against the Swedes because the Swedes they look more comfortable playing that compared to the uh, Bosnia team. Even when Bosnia played against Canada, they were playing a kind of low block in that game. So I feel they will still want to use the same tactical approach in this game. But my problem is Switzerland, when they have the opportunity, the likes of Brill Mbolo, the likes of Dan Ndoye, the likes of Ruben Vargas, they just have to take their chance. And I'm looking forward to see what a player like Granit Xhaka has to do in this encounter. And also Dennis Zakaria. These are players that will be playing for Switzerland in this game, especially in the midfield area. We should have Granit Xhaka, we should have Remo Friola, we should have Dennis Zakaria playing in that area, trying to control the tempo of the game, trying to be more possessive of the game. So we are waiting to see what will happen in that encounter. For me, I think the Swiss also have to be very careful because Bosnia they are very good when it comes to uh, set pieces. They are very good at using set pieces. Because if you look at the qualifiers, they scored a lot of goals from set pieces, uh, and even the goal they scored against Canada was from set pieces. So they really need to watch it. If not, they will have themselves to blame. And he's a team that likes to play counter kind of football. So that's why when they play load block against you and uh, you get carried away, they can get you on a counter and get a goal. And it's very difficult to break them down because defense they are very solid. We saw them do that against Canada. So the Swiss have to be very wary of this. If not, they might end up being shocked. Players like Edin Dzeko can make a lot of difference for this team, and a player like Shida Kolasinac, he limped off against Canada, but he seems expected to be back for this game. So we look forward to see how the game will turn out. And then the game between Mexico and South Korea, I think that game will be the most exciting game for March the 8th. Mexico were able to get victory against South Africa in their first game. South Korea were able to come back from a goal down against um, Czech Republic, and they were able to get victory, a 2-1 victory. It's a team that is very, very good. Mexico uh, holds a very good record against South Korea. Both sides have met a total of 15 times. Mexico won 8 of those ties. South Korea won 4, and then they had 3 draws. The 2 times these 2 teams have played at the World Cup, Mexico came out victorious. In 1998 World Cup in France, Mexico defeated South Korea 3-1 in the group stage. And then in 2018 World Cup in Russia, Mexico defeated South Korea 2-1. Still in the group stage, with goals from Carlos Vela and Javier Hernandez. Looking at the team, Mexico still pirates now. Mexico still has good players that can really be a threat to the South Korean team. And one thing that will also work in their favor is that they are playing in front of their home fans. That is going to be a very big advantage for them. Though they will be missing their suspended defender, Cesar Montes, who was given a red card against South Africa. But I still believe they have players that can really help them get victory in this game. We saw the way they were able to approach the game against the South Africans. They play a high pressing kind of game so that they suffocate the opponent. You don't have much time. You are forced to make mistakes, and then they take advantage of that. I see them doing that against South Korean team. I don't know if the South Korean team, the kind of tactical approach they would like to adopt in this game. But South Korea also have very good players that can cause a very big upset to the Mexican side in this team. When you have a player like Son Heung-min Nis, you must give that kind of a team huge respect. We saw the guy who scored the one of the goals that gave them victory against Czechia. His name is Wang Imbiom. That's a very fantastic player. He scored a beautiful goal against Czech Republic. And then in their defense, we have Kim Min-jae. He's a very good player. So South Korea have good players that can really be of threat to the Mexicans. Mexicans will also be banking on Raul Jimenez. They will be banking on Julian Nunes, who scored a goal for the Mexicans against South Africa. So they have good players as well. So I think it will boil down to the team that utilizes the scoring opportunity that comes. That is what I foresee will happen. That will be the decider of who is going to win this game. This game looked like a game that might end in a draw because the South Korean team that I watched against Czechia, they look very, very good. So I foresee a situation where it likely end in a draw. If any of these 2 teams will win, then it has to be the team that takes advantage of the opportunity that comes their way. Please share your thoughts. Tell us what you feel concerning games that will be played for match day 8. Let us know what you think. What are your predictions? Thank you for listening, and do have a wonderful time. Bye for now.